What is up, guys? My name is Cromar, and this is the brand new co-op action/arcade/puzzle game Forced, or as I like to call it, Extreme Gauntlet. This one is by indie developer Beta Dwarf and is available on Steam for something like 12 bucks, I think, for the next week or so. Anyway, I was interested in this game, partly for the visuals, partly for the indie cred, and partly for the concept of mixing action, multiplayer, puzzle solving, team coordination, and so on into a fun co-op game as opposed to PvP. This video will focus on the single player only because I plan on releasing some 4-player co-op videos soon, and this one will just focus on single player for all you loners out there, so keep an eye on TGN for more. Steam's telling me I've played it 3 hours so far, if that helps, and I gotta say, I'm already really impressed. The graphics are gorgeous, there's plenty of blood and gore, the abilities, they really feel like they have impact. The engine runs smooth as silk at 1440p. I've got fraps running, no problem. My computer is nothing special at all. It's just an up-to-date AMD budget class 8-core and an older budget class GeForce. The game supports keyboard and mouse or controller, and I actually found the controller to be much more natural for the game type, and I recorded all of the footage that you're seeing now while playing with a normal Xbox 360 controller that pretty much everybody has. The game focuses on a more arcade style by skipping out on RPG style character customization. Instead, it uses something a little bit closer to Diablo 3's loadout system. As you complete challenges, you receive crystals, and these act as a kind of sort of leveling system that unlocks more active and passive abilities for your loadout, so it adds more complexity. You can change between the 4 classes, and you can alter your loadout freely between missions. You don't have to level each class separately, so the leveling is not really leveling, it's more like account leveling like in League of Legends. Choosing the right class, the right skill, and the right passive loadout is as much of the puzzle as the actual puzzles themselves. Though I actually suspect that you can complete any puzzle with any class, I've found that some of them have a huge advantage over others depending on the situation. The 4 classes are Captain America, Hammer Time, Stabby, and Legolas. Alright, I made those names up, but they fit the basic archetypes well. Captain America is a tank who can protect the party and heal lots of damage, and of course he throws his shield, blah blah. But the downside is that when he attacks and he builds his marks, which are the game's combo point system, he gets it very slowly, which is a bit annoying. Hammer Time really massacres large groups of small enemies, but he's vulnerable to larger, strong enemies that he can't avoid or tank well. Stabby is highly mobile and does fantastic single target damage, so he's great for bosses, but he clears groups very slowly, and if you make a mistake, he can die in the blink of an eye. Legolas can feel like cheating sometimes because he skips entire boss mechanics with his long range, but he gets crushed when he gets cornered by swarms of melee enemies, and he does have some escapes, but they're limited by cooldowns. What makes this game much different than classic Gauntlet or other co-op beat-em-up is the focus on puzzles. You have a talking spirit orb thing that follows you around, and the voice acting is amazing, by the way. That's a major point in this game's favor.
Remember that brute force is not always the answer.
It's the only answer.
And the thing interacts with objects in the environment to open doors or press switches or just give you essential buffs by activating these shrines. The shrines do different things. Some of them heal you, some of them devastate your enemies. Others turn your spirit orb into a weapon, and it does do friendly fire, so watch out. And each level also has these special challenges that award more of those crystals, that's the leveling thing, and it puts you on a worldwide leaderboard you can compete on if you're crazy enough, similar to time trials in racing games like Mario Kart or whatever. There's also a survival mode. I haven't messed around with survival all that much, but the goal is to last as long as possible, and there's a leaderboard for that, of course. I probably won't mess around with it until I finish the campaign. If you're looking for a complex, action-packed single-player RPG or co-op, this actually isn't it. Path of Exile is what you're looking for. It's out on Steam now, and it's free, and it's a far deeper experience, but Forced is all about that fast, arcade-style action and puzzle solving, preferably with friends. Forced is something you can pick up and play for a few minutes and have fun, whereas Path of Exile is very time-consuming and requires a ton of attention to detail and planning to get anywhere. Forced is better compared to Diablo 3, actually, and I would say that Forced is far superior. It matches it on combat, but it actually puts it to shame on level design. It slays it on level design. And I haven't even got started on the co-op yet, so I can't wait to dive into that. So thank you for watching. My name is Cromar, and keep an eye out on TGN Central. There's going to be more Forced coverage, 4-player co-op, and I will see you there.